I'm just cutting the fret wire to size at the minute, just a little bit wider than the frets. I've already put one in. It was really as a bit of a test that the channels were deep enough, because I did sand quite a lot, and I used the little saw as you saw and cut them a little bit, so I wanted to check they were deep enough. Also I wanted to see if I needed glue, but they actually seem pretty good. So I think I'm going to go without glue unless absolutely necessary. So all I'm doing here really is measuring this just a couple of millimeters longer, snipping it and trying to snip it, excuse me, trying to snip it, how can I show you, trying to snip it exactly sort of sideways toward the tang, so I'm not sort of twisting it or bending it. And then what I need to do is just check these are all in the right places and long enough. Yeah. The other reason why I'm starting at the high end, moving this way, is the fret board will get narrower to the top. So if I cut one of these too short, I can use it as a later fret, which I did here. I was just doing another test here and actually cut the tang a little bit too short. So what you need to do to make these fit, because what I'm actually doing, if you look at this one, I'm going to go over the binding just to give me a bit more width. I mean, obviously be cut off, but I'm actually going to go over the binding and then go up at a 45° from there. So what I need to do is cut the tang to fit. This is the tang, obviously the bit here, and I use a tang cutter for that, which I'll show you. And you do it very, very gradually, so you don't cut it too short like I did with my first attempt. So you slot it in here and give it a bit of a snip. Then do the other end. And you do that until it fits, bit by bit. Otherwise you can risk taking far too much off. So we're into the fun bit with the Vox Lynx, pulling the frets out. Now this has turned out to be easier than I thought. So when I was started off, I did the first couple off camera just in case I messed it up. Never done this before, but what I was doing was using my soldering iron to heat it up. Sometimes if they're glued in you need to heat them up to get the glue off, but it seems that this one doesn't have any glue on. It's pretty difficult to get a grip on the fret. There's a bit of build-up of gunk. The first one I had to sort of get a knife out and clean down the edges. So let's see if I can just pull this one straight out. Once you get a good grip on them, they've just been coming out, so I figure there's no glue. Let's see. So I'm just using a fretting hammer. This is a hard side, this is a soft side. And just get it in on one side and then work it on over to the other side. And it's in pretty firmly. Let's see if you can see that. Just needs a little bit more at the end, but it's pretty firmly on. After I got all the frets in, I cut off the ends with the fret end cutters. Unfortunately, I did them all. I forgot to include you. But anyway, you just snip these off of these. These are the Crimson Guitar ones, and they're really great. They just went through them really easy. Just cut them off like that. They will, I believe, these ones will actually do stainless steel frets. So that's something to think about. All I'm doing now is where you kind of cut them with the cutters, they come to a point, and I'm just filing them flush, being very careful not to file the fingerboard, but if you just file the metal down you don't get any contact with the fingerboard, so just filing them flat, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 45-degree angle on all of these with the special file that I'll show you in a bit. So when you've got them sort of cut to the end there, you use this fret end file, special file from Crimson Guitars that puts a 45-degree angle along here. And yes, I'm just going to demonstrate that. I'm sort of jumping ahead. I haven't really flattened off the other side yet. And this is a bad angle for me, just so you can see, but hopefully it gives you an idea. A very bad angle for me. In fact, that's not going to work. I'm going to try and come around the other side of the camera. So what you can start to see, not finished yet, is starting to get a 45-degree angle on these frets. Found something else to hang my camera on, so we can do this from a better angle now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to flat these frets off, and so I know where I'm up to, I'm going to put a black line along each fret so we can see that they're all being flattened off equally, and I can see if there's any low points. So I'll just take a permanent marker and put a line across each one, just down the centre. Try and keep the line straight and not turn in at the ends, which is tempting. You can see it's getting thinner. So this is all rounded over now. I'm just going to go along and just turn the sharp edges over, just like this. And then what I can do is, with this bit that's flush to the board, I can really neaten up that rough edge of that fret. that should be okay. So when I sand these off, then I shouldn't be getting any snags along here. Okay, so done all the edges, flattened it off. Sort of getting into the end game now. So 240 grit wet and dry paper, just use it dry, and then try and be even across. We don't want to make any low spots. Also get these edges as well. There's nothing. It's all going to be really nice on the hand. When you feel you've done enough this way with 240, you could go up to, I'm going to go up to 400, and there we go. What we can just start doing at 400 is start taking out the marks that we put in with that grit. So you can sort of grip the sandpaper like that, and then what we're going to do is each fret at a time. I'm going to do it lengthways now along the side of the fret. Hopefully start getting out the previous marks. Try not to stay too long on one, and remember how long you've done it for, and then move on to the next one and do the same amount. One thing you can use when you've done the initial sanding is these fret rubbers that you can get from Crimson Guitars, and they're really easy to use because you can get in quite well with them. And this is quite a coarse one, but it's just a lot easier to handle than a piece of sandpaper. So worth trying out. I actually have 4 grades of these, so once I've gone over this, I've got another 3, so it should be pretty much ready for a final polish when I've done all those. So a lot of elbow grease and numerous pieces of sandpaper, and this is the 4th fret rubber, the finest one. We're almost there, so just going to give this final fret a good buff. It does take a long time doing this, but I think it's worth it. There you go. So hopefully you can see the frets are pretty shiny there. Quite pleased with that. Yeah. Like almost everything I've done regarding a refret, I've sort of learned from Ben Crow's videos, Ben Crow from Crimson Guitars. These are definitely not how-to videos, these are just watching me trying to do something. But if you really want to learn how to do this, I suggest you check out the Crimson Custom Guitars YouTube account. I've linked it in a lot of my videos already. I'll link it in this one as well. But yeah, Autosol metal polish. Ben recommends using this for the final touch. Super shiny. touch. So I'll do a bit of that. Put a bit of a blob on a rag, and then just rub it in. And then before I do the rest, I'll just sort of bust this one up a little so you can see. There you can see how shiny that one is. So, got all the tape off. Now it's all a bit sticky and manky, a bit of glue and stuff. So I'll get a bit of lighter fluid. Just using this kind of lighter fluid. And just give this a clean off. Get any sticky residue out of the fingerboard. I'm not using lemon oil because it looks a bit manky. Basically just scented stuff. So I've been using this Big Ben's fretboard juice, which is mineral oil. It's not so cheap. I also did buy this, which is also mineral oil. So I'm going to use the Big Ben's up and I'm going to try this. I'm using this for oiling knives that are going to be used for food preparation. This is sort of food safe stuff that they use on to condition chopping boards. Sounds perfect. Anyway, we'll use the Big Ben's for now. Give this guy a bit of a drink. And there we go. Refretted neck. Next thing is to shim it, get it on the guitar.